Having proper classroom management as a guest teacher in a high school classroom can be difficult. High school students have years of experience with guest teachers and in some cases have years of experience manipulating guest teachers. Because of this, it is important to take control of the classroom right away. Know the classroom rules and school policies. In any classroom, but especially in a high school classroom, knowing the classroom rules and school policies is important. In many cases, the classroom teacher will either include the classroom rules in the lesson plans or these rules will be posted on the wall. Prior to the start of the day, read through the classroom rules. Understand what is and what is not considered acceptable classroom behavior. For example, some classroom teachers will allow food and drinks in the classroom while others have rules against bringing anything other than water into the classroom. Some teachers have strict rules about students who are tardy or do not come prepared to class. Understand the classroom rules and follow them. It may not seem like a big deal to let one student eat the rest of his breakfast while taking attendance or let it slide when one of the students comes in class 5 minutes late. The problem is that how you handle the small things will set a standard for how you will handle bigger classroom issues. If you appear to be a pushover on the smaller issues, students may begin to think you will be a pushover on the bigger issues. Plus, high school students talk. If you let things slide in one class, the students in the later classes will expect the same treatment. Cell phones. Many high school students are never without their phones, but they don't need to be texting friends or sending Snapchats while you are teaching. Make sure you establish your stance on cell phones at the very beginning of the class period. Many school districts have policies on cell phones use while in school. In some cases, simply seeing a cell phone is enough of a reason for the phone to be taken from the student. If you believe the classroom teacher does not adhere to this policy, you can often turn to the official policy when telling the students that they cannot use their cell phones in class. Of course, you do not have to have an all or nothing policy when it comes to cell phone use in the classroom. For example, in a math class, you can consider allowing students to use their phones as calculators, but with stipulations. Remind the students that if caught using their phones for other purposes, it will be taken away. Generally, it is best to adhere to the same policy when it comes to cell phones, particularly in the same school district, as students compare notes on what substitutes rules are. Lastly, in some situations, it may be appropriate for you to establish a stricter policy, but you need to be ready to fight the protests, at least in the beginning. Avoid downtime. Avoid downtime in high school classrooms. Students of all ages may take advantage of unfilled class time, but high school students are especially good at taking unstructured time and turning it into an environment that is hard to get control over again. The less downtime you have the class period, the better control you will have over the room. This doesn't mean there can't be free time if called for, but it needs to be structured and with set parameters and expectations before starting. This will keep the class moving smoothly and keep the control on your side. Be positive and finally smile. It's simple. Kids respond better to likable adults. You can maintain a firm line while smiling and being kind. Set the tone with positivity and you will usually receive it in return. Together, we can make the biggest difference.